To the broadcast of Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women. We are thrilled to have you with us for one of the most prestigious events in the world of chess. The world's greatest chess players had a very eventful rest day yesterday, dressed up as cowboys and cowgirls, competing against each other at the Cowboy Challenge. We will definitely show you some secret footage from the Cowboy Challenge itself and analyze the players' horse management skills on and off the chessboard. Today is day 5, featuring a real rifle showdown between the world number 3, Fabiano Caruana, and world number 1, Magnus Carlsen. 2 sharpshooters, 1 board, and everything to play for. Goat with the goat and so many other highlights from the Cowboy Challenge, bringing us to round 5 of today. Huga, what would you highlight as the game that you're most looking forward to in Norway Chess Women today?
I am a big fan of Sara Kalem and of Vaishali Rameshbabu, and I'm really looking forward to see how Sara catches up, because yesterday she had a win, her first win. So I'm looking forward how she manages to finish this tournament.
Well, he won it all today against Fabiano Caruana. He's got the black pieces, and there we see Magnus arriving at the board, the handshake. So many games between these two players, including their World Championship match in 2018 in London, when Fabiano Caruana was very close to taking the title from Magnus Carlsen.
Absolutely. This is always going to be, I would call this one El Clásico. You know,
I'm telling you, it's the El Clásico. It is the El Clásico.
Clashing ideas about which one is the El Clásico. Hikaru obviously is going to tell him that him versus Magnus is the El Clásico. Then we have Gukesh versus Magnus. But I feel this is the El Clásico of chess. Yes, absolutely. So first of all, right now, we did have the move A6. This is sort of going to the Ruy Lopez, the Spanish, and of course, Black still has a lot of ways in which he can develop the pieces. Now, the names, they all belong to different openings, and the ones that Vichy was mentioning with F5, that would have been the Yanish, that's a very aggressive way. It's just the way we categorize. Sara Kadem really needs to probably put on her best poker face right now, because I see the bar right now, and Vaishali is looking really good. Perhaps we can go to that game for just a second to see what's happening. Sure. Now, I'm going to fast forward just because we have a lot of other moves and I'm not going to be able to cover all of them. But we get something very similar to a King's Indian situation, but with a much better, I would say, version for white. Why? Because the bishop is not on g7, so your f5 is also not supported by the pawn on g6 as easily. So we got to this position. White obviously has a lot of play. On the queen side, what Black is going to try to do is do something on the right side of the board. It seems like Arjun so far has been misfiring a little bit with his calculation. We've seen that against Fabiano. We've somewhat seen it against Magnus as well, even though against Magnus, it was just a difficult position. I cannot blame him for losing that. But against Fabiano, it didn't seem like he put as much resistance as he should have.
He's running out of time.
Vichy is
One more
E6.
thing. Sorry,
yes.
Satya,
No, is E6 the only move that...
He played it.
He played
He
it.
played the only move, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wow. Huga, that's what you wanted to say, right?
Yes, is that the only chance? Only move.
For a second, I thought Vichy started singing that. You were asking if Vichy started.
So he made it.
Can we show the line, Christian, just for a
Yes.
moment about
Yes.
knight of 6? It's so
Let's do
beautiful.
that.
Yeah, so you can
wanna
take on
take
E6.
first on E6.
Exactly. And take on G6, and then next move I'm going to take on F6 as well. If you go here, then rook to E1, followed by rook to E8.
Can we show why this move is so crucial? Sorry, we do need to go to the game that has just finished. That was Vaishali winning against Sara Kadam. We've just missed the handshake because Magnus decided to make his move in that same moment.
Yeah, this one was a sad affair for Sara from the beginning, to be honest. Out of the opening, she perhaps had a slightly better position, but slowly and surely, Vaishali took over the game.
We
and
can
in
show
fact,
the last couple of moves on
Yes.
how Vaishali converted. The attack was huge already.
clinical conversion by Vaishali after king h1, b5, the best move in the position, bishop to e4, bishop goes in the center, unperturbed by any other piece in the position. Not only that, but now guess what? We've been looking at this idea for a long time. Divert the action of the bishop on f1 and get the checkmate. If you can get the checkmate, that's the best. And if you have to go g3, softening up the light squares is just bad. This is a bad situation. Queen to e4, bishop to b6, and the final blow in the position,
Nice.
disrupting the defense of the queen on a3, forcing resignation with a double exclam move.
It is absolutely beautiful. It is art. The way this game was won, that was pure art, and that gives 3 points to Vaishali. We are getting ready for our first Armageddon of the day, so let's remind our viewers, what is the Armageddon format, Christian?
Absolutely. In the Armageddon, white has 10 minutes. Black starts with only 7 minutes, so 3 extra minutes for white. You get 1 second increment starting from move 41, but there's a catch. White must win the game. If the game finishes in a draw or a black victory, then black wins. The player with the black pieces wins. And they're playing with the same colors that they played the classical game with. So if one of the players started with white, she continues playing with white. It's a very interesting format.
Well, this will be an exciting Armageddon for sure.
What's also exciting is that Lei Tingjie spent a good couple of seconds on her second move. She is somewhat surprised by the opening move order of Humpy.
I love the rook lifts, you know. I usually try to make rook lifts, even if the position doesn't allow a rook lift. I'm always trying to make a rook lift.
She's gone G5
She
instead.
missed her chance. She missed her chance. It wasn't that easy to just go sacrifice your knight, but
fine.
it was
It's
a
also good,
winning
right?
move, potentially winning.
But it's
G5
also
looks good too, with the same idea of attacking on the king's side.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
this is
okay,
bad
okay.
news for white right now. Koneru is in trouble. Not only that, she has less time on the clock.
And now that shows double question mark, meaning it's a blunder.
The big question is, what do you do after G4?
But
I
is
think
it
she wants to
happening?
pass by. She wants to pass
But
by,
then I
but
can
then
do knight
f3.
F3 check, yeah.
Knight f3 is over.
Oh, goodness
It's
me.
over, because rook b6, rook g6, bishop e5,
light point.
everything is coming in the position. You get checkmated and you have no way out. All you can do is sit and wait.
But what was the double question mark move? Is that happened already?
Queen
The
retreat.
last move.
It's on the board.
It's on the
indeed.
board.
And the pushing of the pawn was perfectly done by Lei in the right
I would have taken
moment.
with the queen, right? Because I'm
Yes.
playing knight F3 check.
Taking with the queen was much
So this was
better.
a mistake, probably.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's in f3. Very good move. Very good move. You have to do something. You have to open things up. Bishop to h6. Rook f5. Koneru is playing an amazing game right now.
Wow.
I think Lei is going to blow this.
It looks like
because,
it.
the tendency is very much in that direction.
Yeah.
She's trying to repeat moves, but white is not going to retreat with the rook.
No.
Rook C3 looks a reasonable move.
You think we will get to move 41 to get the increment?
Probably we will. But even 1 second increment, that goes by so fast.
Yeah.
You don't have time to breathe.
No.
Rook c3. She's playing the best moves so far. Koneru is putting on a masterclass in the last 10 to 15 moves.
Wow.
Nerves of steel
Look
because she
at
was
the bar.
losing.
Look at the bar. Rook to
Wow,
e6.
double question mark for this rook move, a blunder.
Oh, bishop h5 is resigns.
She didn't
My
play
God,
it.
she didn't play it. Okay.
She missed the chance.
It's still pretty good for her. I mean, yeah, bishop h6.
What she's
Oh, but
doing
now
the
that's a
piece?
blunder too.
that's a
Blundering
piece.
her knight.
That's a piece right there, and there's absolutely no compensation.
Oh, goodness me. This is the second time Lei Tingjie hangs a piece, blunders a minor piece in her games at Norway Chess Women.
Bishop h5, not bishop c4 because of rook to d1. Bishop h5, attack the pawn on f7. This is game over if she finds it, and she will.
One
Yeah.
mistake, and that's all it took for Humpy to
b3.
be winning in the game again.
That's a safe move, if I've ever seen one. Queen c3,
Rook e7. Okay.
rook
sure.
f5. 9 seconds, Lei Tingjie. The problem is the position is just
Yeah.
hopeless.
Queen f2 is winning. Yeah.
It's not about the clock, it's
And,
about the
Queen
position.
c5 and it's over.
And it's happening.
She's going to resign now. Yeah.
Wow.
What a game! Humpy Koneru
Wow.
with the very tough position from the opening. She was basically lost in the opening phase, and her king was gonna get into a checkmate pattern, but Lei Tingjie didn't find the accurate way to continue her attack. The chances got messed up, complex middle game, and then she lost a piece. She blundered her knight on e5. She also blundered her bishop against Sarah Kadem in that crucial game in Classical.
Let's go to Fabiano versus Magnus. That one is not hitting up. In fact, things have clarified quite a lot since the last time we've seen it. We've entered the end game.
Well, that means more chess. We are not disappointed. In case of a draw, the two will be back to play it out in Armageddon. Gukesh, in the meantime, the reigning world champion is winning against
my God.
China's #1 player, Wei Yi. There was a mistake a couple of moves ago. And right now what we have is very active pieces in Gukesh's camp, taking a pawn on g2. Look at that pair of bishops and how
Wow.
many pawns will be marching forward to try to promote.
Well, especially this h-pawn right now, it's coming. Supported by these two bishops.
Wow.
My pawns are better than yours right now. You've lost the b6 pawn. This seems to be very close to over, but it's still not over yet.
We could go to the bird's eye view to take a look at the beautiful colors and which games have already ended. So we only have decisive games going on in Norway Chess. All the boys are still fighting it out in Classical. I believe he played something else.
Oh, but then he goes knight f5, attacking both bishops at the same time. Shows he has to go bishop h3.
He
We
played
gotta
the
look
best
at the
move.
clock. 17 seconds against 12 seconds, and there's only 10-second increment.
There's a mate, maybe. Bishop g4, bishop to e5 also. No, bishop
Knight
to
e4,
e5,
knight e4. Now knight g5 is...
Knight e4, knight g5.
He messed it up. He's stepping into the fork.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is not good news right now.
Knights are such tricky
But it's
pieces.
still equal, apparently.
It's equal. It's equal. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
In the meantime,
I
Magnus
think rook
Carlsen
a4 check and
has
bishop
made a
f6.
draw. I just wanted to confirm the result
Is a
that they
draw,
will
yeah?
be back to play that in Armageddon. Fabiano Caruana against Magnus Carlsen. And
Played with
Armageddon is
1
coming.
second on the clock. Bishop f6 was 1 second on the clock. I am not 100% sure what he wants to do after. Oh, he wants to go king f4.
Yeah. That's cute. Okay, king f4. Okay, now even king e5, king d6, but okay.
The crowd quiets down right now. It does seem like we finally reached the end of this game.
And the handshake, it's a draw, which means even more chess.
Oh
The two
my
of them will be
God.
back at the board to fight it out in Armageddon. Almost every game of today goes to an Armageddon, except Vaishali, who won in classical chess. We're going to see Armageddon back-to-back. It's already on the way for Anna Muzichuk and Ju Wen-jun.
b3.
If Anna loses this game, by the way, she's gonna lose the first spot because Humpy did win her Armageddon and she's gonna be the sole leader of the tournament. And they seem to be repeating the position.
Yes, this was a repetition. I don't think it was a threefold repetition. And anyway, Ju Wen-jun does not know it. This was almost for sure a threefold repetition. King e3.
And
in
the
fact,
handshake.
she's not even trying.
Draw offer. That means Ju Wen-jun wins the Armageddon and gets a half a point for this game today. 1.5 to 1 point. Ju Wen-jun against Anna Muzichuk.
This is the play right now, and we'll see what the strategy for these two players is going to be. And it does seem like Fabiano finally, well, he decides to sidestep Bishop b5 goes for Gioco Piano. Bishop to c4, and this is what we have right now.
So exciting. I'm catching my breath.
Yes.
And the question is if you can stabilize. It does look like the answer should be yes at that point in time. But this is what he wants. This is what Fab is looking for. Take, and then if castle, perhaps an e5 could work. But I just don't see it yet. Let's see. They're going for that.
What
line.
about knight h5, yeah?
Knight to h5.
And he's playing it. He's listening to you, Vichy. He shouldn't
He's
really
playing knight
listen to
h5,
us.
okay.
Not a good move right now. After bishop takes e5, you take. You have to take with the pawn, and then rook to d3, rook d7.
Rook d3, knight f6, rook, bishop f7 check, queen f7, rook d8 check.
Oh my
isn't that lovely?
goodness.
Let's show it. So
Oh
bishop
my
takes.
goodness, that's so nice.
Yeah, and
This
if
is
knight f6, bishop takes f7 and rook d8.
easy to miss. Will he find it is the big question. Knight to h5, you can
It's
see
a
the
question mark.
So bishop e5 and rook e d3, and that's...
He's retreating with the bishop.
No,
He
he blew
missed
it,
it.
yeah.
Spotted.
He missed it. And Magnus is completely back in the game right now.
Well, black is just better,
Yes.
even if the computer doesn't fully panic.
That bar is going crazy.
Yeah.
Arjun had the advantage
Oh.
earlier, and now it's back to
Oh, there was a pawn.
Hikaru's.
He went bishop g4, knight e4.
Oh,
Okay,
that
then
was
it's
a
over,
miss.
yeah.
That was a miss right there.
Oh, Magnus Carlsen up a lot of pawns. 3 pawns already. 2 pawns now after the capture of that pawn, but
Oh,
2 extra
yeah.
pawns, 2
And winning
connected
a
pass
piece, yeah.
pawns.
I think there might just be a resignation soon.
The thing is, he has draw odds, so he doesn't even need to win this endgame with 2 extra pawns.
Precisely. Magnus is going to sacrifice a pawn for an exchange of rooks. He will give the c5 pawn if he can exchange the rooks as well.
So c4 and c3.
Yes.
Now he'll
Yes,
just
he's
play
doing
h5, and that's our g6, and then...
Yes. This is truly hopeless. It's not. It wasn't really a mistake.
Yeah, and now knight f6 I think is easy. Oh, h5 is even.
He had his chance earlier. He had the chance in the center with the tactical pattern that you
Arjun,
showed.
Apparently Hikaru
Wow,
blundered
Hikaru
the
with
house.
a big mistake.
Arjun is back.
What's going
We'll
on?
need to check that out after this game because I
Arjun
think
is
we'll see the
back.
final moments of this game very shortly. Magnus Carlsen with the winning advantage. All he needs is a draw, though. He would need to blunder big time for this to go in Fabi's way.
Let's go really quick.
It's a
Congratulations
handshake.
to Magnus, who takes the Armageddon. And in fact, after losing 2 Armageddons in a row, he wins finally one. Hikaru.
With a huge blunder, you can see it all on his face. We haven't seen the position, but you can see it all on his face.
Well, there's a mate coming. And I'm first.
Was
Hikaru.
a miss by Hikaru, who was winning 3 moves ago. He made a blunder, a losing move.
Hikaru
Hikaru
is
with a
smiling.
smile.
Yeah.
I think he cannot believe the mistake he made earlier.
He truly cannot believe it, yes. Bishop to c4. Now you can take on g6
And play
now
g4 check, and I'm
G4
winning.
and f4. Yes.
Yeah, then I'm winning.
G4, king to g5, f4. So this is the win. Let's see if he goes for it.
To deflect the king from the defense of the queen. It's happening. Rook
Yep.
capture.
G4 finishes the game.
It's played. With the winning move, Arjun Erigaisi. Let's show it on the board one more time how it's winning the queen. But
Wow.
what a missed chance by Hikaru Nakamura. He was winning. And in fact, sorry, we don't have time to show it because we also have, of course, the third Armageddon of the day.
Wow.
China's #1 player Wei Yi against the reigning world champion Gukesh Donbaraju.
But
Let's take a look.
Gukesh looks fried.
He's winning. Wei
Wei is winning.
is winning. Rook d5. A small little move.
And the king attacks the rook again.
Rook g5. Knight e7, and you see the bar dropping. You see the bar dropping. I don't know who's the favorite to take it home right now.
Knight f3 has to be done, but black spoiled a lot. Or knight e4 maybe.
So what should Gukesh do about knight c5, which would pick up the pawn on b7? He needs to prevent this attack.
How do you do it? Knight f5. Indirectly defending. If you go and pick up some pawns, you lose the rook on g5. I'm attacking your defender.
He's got knight d4 because that clears the path a little bit. But now I take on d4
Bishop takes d4.
and rook e1. I mean, what else?
You have to defend against.
Okay, he stepped
He
back
went
and he
back
will
with the
put the
king.
bishop on c6 and now maybe rook d5 is my chance to get in via d8.
You
That
suffer,
happened.
but it's you're getting closer also, closer to a draw.
But I get into d8 and after that my king can come to h4.
Yes.
And I think that's going to be unpleasant for you.
Let's not forget, he only gets 1 extra second, and this is not the position that you want to play on 1 second.
Yeah, 1 second increment is very little time. It's something better than 0, but 1 second increment per move is super little time. And again, this is Armageddon. So in case of a draw, Black wins this game. Gukesh only needs to somehow hold this. Only needs to, as if it was easy, but he only needs a draw.
One last trick.
Oh, now it's over. Rook f6 check, bishop f5, g3 check resigns.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes, and he plays it. And Gukesh leans in his chair.
And resigns. What a game by Wei Yi. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to convert this endgame, and he did it.
Wow.
Hikaru had a winning advantage, and he spoiled it. Just the moment when we tuned in, he already was in this checkmate pattern in the mating that we definitely should show where he went wrong.
Absolutely, it was move 41. I don't think that's the one. That's the one right there. Rook to f6 was a huge mistake.
Oh, just takes on g2 and queen g4 c8.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hikaru, by the way, played that so quickly.
And that was a losing move. He only then realized, you can see it on his face. You can see it on his face after that he realized it. And these were the final moments in the game when the pawn push happens and he's gonna lose his queen. What a big blunder. He was in a winning position. I think we need to show it on our board as well, Christian, that critical moment where he made his decision a bit too fast.
If you haven't caught it, it was rook to f6, which Hikaru played really quick, thinking that he's still winning. He's getting to the f2 pawn, but he's not. Rook takes g2, a huge move right now. And I wouldn't call it necessarily simple, because you're not giving the checkmate, but you're just getting into this much better position. That's it. Your rook on c8 had to be used in coordination with the queen to deliver any sort of attack against my king. With a rook on d4, there's nothing you can do. Your rook against my two pieces are just simply going to dominate, and this is a decisive advantage. He missed that. He played the move rook to f6, and after this, he's in fact lost. Everything changes in 1 second. I think he just missed g3.
Congratulations to Arjun. Sorry, Christian, for stealing your words, but
No.
I'm just staring at those hats and I'm really envying their outfits.
Absolutely, and those cowboy hats definitely make an appearance. But we didn't have any classical decisive results today. We only have Armageddon victories, and those victories go to Arjun Erigaisi against Hikaru Nakamura, Wei Yi against Gukesh Omaraju, and Magnus Carlsen from somewhat of a worse position, but it was only for that one moment against Fabiano. Magnus Carlsen takes the victory and extends his lead at the top, 1.5 points ahead of Fabiano Caruana.
Let's take a look at the results of Norway Chess Women. What happened today?
Well, Vaishali took the only classical victory against Sarah Kadem, just absolutely impressive dismantling with the black pieces of that King's Indian style attack, which was successfully conducted. Anna Muschuk loses against the world champion Ju Wenjun in the Armageddon, and Koneru Humpy takes the win against Lei Tingjie also in the Armageddon. How are the standings looking after round 5?
That will mean that Humpy Koneru is now the sole leader of the event, but it's a very small margin, half a point ahead of Anna Muschuk, and also Ju Wenjun is right behind with 7 points. This is still anyone's tournament, since we already highlighted how important it is that they get 3 points for a classical win. Sarah Kadam and Lei Tingjie can still do it, as well as Vaishali. And huge thanks, of course, to our viewers for tuning in. Wherever you are right now in the world, we so appreciate your presence, and thank you for being with us for Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, with the same exciting event. See you tomorrow again.